what are the organizations where one gets an opportunity to practice international business laws? Okay, so what are the kind of places that we get to see this? Now, multinational companies, for obvious reasons, we are like, they already have a presence in multiple jurisdictions. So you would get to do work like that. You get into entities which have a global presence. You will get to work on, like, transactions. You will get to work with foreign colleagues. You will get to work with different kind of opportunity, different kind of their offices around the globe. And the way the structuring in these organizations work, the reporting mechanisms will make you work with these people in other countries. Although that is there, like, you are having entities which traditionally went international and are working in that domain. There are large opportunities opening up with startups also, as we already saw, right?
So, guys, can you give us few examples of entities that have gone internationally recently? Few startups, at least two or three.
Yeah, just a couple of startups if you know of, which have recently forayed out.
Very good. Ola.
Ola. Okay, I
I
think
think
someone
that's
wanted to write Uber.
yeah.
Ohio, Zomato, yeah,
Very
Flipkart,
good.
all of these, yeah. There are even like Zomato, Flipkart, all of these are kind of still at a higher level of the market share. There are entities which are much smaller than this and still which are looking to, like, foray out of the country. Okay,
Yeah, happiest minds. So
happiest
because
mind
see,
just
these
went
are the
to,
entities you know name of because they are directly dealing with
yeah,
customers. But you will there are so many who work in software services and other things who are going international now.
yeah, yeah. McD is not a startup.
I wish.
So, okay. And what happens in international law firms if you're working with these firms? So, the value that international law firms with offices in many jurisdictions bring is they have access to experts in that jurisdictions. And we just noted that, right? That you have a better level of trust on this these kind of firms, because they have multinational presence and you have work, they have access to experts in those jurisdictions. Okay, so and they recognize the importance of cross border multi jurisdiction skills. Okay, so when you are working with this kind of firms, this is what you will see. Okay, they realize and they understand that, like, there is a value they will put a value on. Now if you go to a domestic company which actually never has expanded, or a firm which is working at a local level, maybe advising international clients to some extent, but is not present across the globe. Now if you're going to that, and the difference between if you're going to a firm which is present across the globe, yeah, they will recognize the importance of this very well. Okay, so law firms which are operating locally in jurisdictions like Dubai, Singapore, Ireland, China, Japan, which are tax havens, also appreciate such skills. Okay, because it very naturally you will have other country people coming to these kind of countries because of the tax haven benefit that they have. So there is a very clear requirement for, like, firms which are operating in these jurisdictions to know these kinds of things. So if someone has these skills, they will welcome these kind of people like anything, because they want that to happen. They want people to have cross jurisdictional skills because their clients can come from so many other different countries. So you make yourself a more attractive candidate to get hired in such law firms when you have knowledge of international business laws. Okay, for the reason that I just stated, if you know it, you are going to be able to service their clients who come from all of these different jurisdictions. So naturally, they will appreciate that.
Come on, I'd like to come here. So
Yeah, yeah, yes.
yeah, so basically, I know, and this is a good time to take Vaibhav's question. Also, a lot of people are like, yeah, हमें इंडिया के law firms में तो job इतने easily नहीं मिलते, and you're talking about international law firms. We are not from a good college and all that. So
Yeah,
पहली important चीज that international law firms hardly recruit. So towards the end of today's workshop, we will show you at least three success stories where we have or students have been recruited by
yeah,
international law firms and they are working in international
yeah.
law firms. Second thing, when people think that why international law firms do not recruit from India or Indian law schools, always remember and go back to your law school and what kind of skills you have developed. Can you ever add any value to any international law firm? Mostly students think that हम international law firm में जाके भी what we can do is we will teach them Indian law. Nobody has knowledge of how international business law works. So why would somebody come and recruit you here? They'd probably work with foreign lawyers who have knowledge of multi-jurisdiction law and then have somebody, a local law firm work for them. So that's the thing. It's a chicken and egg situation. Like I was telling Weber, that you say that they do not recruit from India, but then have you seen the kind of skills you have?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to match that. And it is not like that they don't recruit. If they find
Find
people,
some, yeah,
see, I'll tell you, in UK or Ireland or the likes, law is actually not a scarce thing, okay? It is not a
mm,
sector which has scarcity. But if you find people who are very well aware of, kind of Asian jurisdictions, and it's not just India, okay? If they are aware of, multiple Asian jurisdictions kind of things, they used to get opportunities with these kinds of firms, okay? Because they have clients who are in this domain and they have to work on deals which span across the borders. So now, if they have people who have a knowledge of these kind of areas, they will welcome it. Okay, but if you're looking only that we will give, like, whatever is in our domain as far as India is concerned, it may not be an attractive proposition for them. Okay, now you go to a UK firm and you tell them that I know how to enter a UAE market, I know how things work in UAE, I know how things work in China, and I know things how things work in India. And then you see what difference it makes for you when you make this kind of statement. It changes the whole thing, isn't it?
yeah. In fact, Komal,
Is it
this
not
is
going to get one thing in, one person who has that kind of skills?
yeah.
Yes,
In fact,
yes.
whenever students come to us, and first of the thing they ask, ki, I want a job in this law firm, so what should I do? I always tell them that your perception should be that how can you be so good? How can you have such good skills? And that is the idea of Law Sikho. That how can you have such good skills that when you come before them, they're like,
Absolutely.
oh my god, this person, I am paying him less than what the value that person is adding. They don't have to train you. You already know most of the work that you have done, and that is exactly how you develop career in anything, not just international business law.
Thanks. Yes. So, yeah, international business consultants also will be looking for people. And guys, this is very scarce. Okay, it is not available easily at all because heretofore, like before this, we used to have only really huge companies that would go international, and then law firms or people above a certain size, advising these kind of companies. Now all sorts of business are going international. Okay, so the requirement is really huge and people do not have this expertise. Okay, so you have to provide this, you have to make this statement that you have this, and then you can be welcome in this because they can't find people who have this kind of knowledge.